point, let's see what the weekly have done so far. Starting to reject again off of this level that we have. We do understand that we have been in some sort of correction phase, and looking to the left, what are we rejecting so far? What level are we rejecting? So usually when we do reject this level, as we can see over here, we see a really massive push to the top side. Usually price comes all the way up. Hey, what's happening, guys? Good morning. Last day of the month, so expecting a really volatile session today, guys. Again, look at the weekly candle, just still rejecting from the downside. So we can most probably see some sort of massive push to the top side, honestly, because you got to understand, right? Kind of tapped into this area over here, and then from there we had that pullback. But we've had numerous attempts to break to the downside at this point, if you look at the daily time frame as well. And so another thing though, looking at the current daily candle, the wick to the downside is really tiny. That's one thing we got to keep that in our mind. But understand that we are rejecting off of this area. If we look to the left, right, if we actually look at the daily candle, this is actually some sort of crucial area, some sort of strong area that we have tapped into. You can also see over here, every time price gets to this level, we see a really massive push to the top side. After that, we expect some sort of pullbacks, and then after that we take it all the way to the top side. So one thing though, we haven't violated the highs just yet, and if we do start closing, I think, below the structure that we have on the 4-hour time frame, so look again, starting to violate the previous 4-hour lows, and we've got to look to the left. So look to the left, usually we do see some sort of pullbacks down to this area, right? And this usually becomes your pullback area. Price does a pullback to this area, and then after that you see a massive push to the top side. So this area pretty much is the area that we are starting to tap now, is the pullback area. So when usually you do tap up to this area, what happens? Price starts to drop, or it does a pullback. So that's what we're looking to see today. Look at that. Again, the pullback was down to this area, pushed up to this level, same sort of level, and then from there this became a pullback area all the way down to this level, and which is also your previous 4-hour lows as well. And you also have a retest here as well, so I'm definitely keeping this area here in my mind, 110%. We got to keep this area here in our mind, honestly. Got to keep this area marked, because from here either we can start to form some sort of support above this, or we can start rejecting and start turning this area into some sort of resistance, and then we can see our Xauusd playing out as well. Looking at the daily time frame now, we've pretty much been within this range, and we're just going back to tap the top side of the range. Looking at the wicks at the moment, we have tapped our key area. From there we have formed a new high, so the daily candle has moved about 162 pips, so it's pretty much coming down to the mid side. So this is the mid range that we are approaching now, so we gotta literally just wait for our session to open, which is in another couple minutes. And if the volatility is to the downside and we start forming lower lows and low highs below 1789, we can most definitely take it down as well. But until then, you guys can understand, right? So far it's pretty much just a pullback on the intraday time frame. It's literally tapped a key area. The previous candle has grabbed a lot of liquidity. We didn't see much happening during our session yesterday. We didn't see much whatsoever, so we are still within this range at the moment. We haven't broken out of the range, so let's just see what happens. Obviously you will break out of the range when you have a lot of volatility kicking in, so you gotta understand, when will the volatility kick in? It will kick in around our session, like in literally another 24 minutes. That's kind of what I'm looking to see, where we can take it. At the moment, you guys gotta understand one thing: we are within this range. We're not forming new highs, we're not forming new lows. We are just stuck within this range. So as soon as we gotta understand another thing as well. Like below this range, we have a lot of liquidity. Above this range, we have a lot of liquidity as well. So we gotta understand, like, what are we really trying to do at this point now? Looking at the daily candle once again, we are quite bullish at the moment on the intraday time frame. The daily candle is bullish, but we haven't violated the highs of the previous bearish candle, which was also a bearish candle, but it had a massive rejection from the downside, and we actually ended up closing above 1782. So looking at the monthly candle quickly, let's see what the monthly candle can do. Look at that, the monthly candle can potentially close above this resistance, which is a little bit far away, another 260 pips. But again, guys, this is just gold for you. this is gold for you. Gold's got to do something, right? Look, the resistance level is up here and the support level is down here. If we close within this, we're closing as an undecisive candle on a monthly time frame in a way. So we kind of got to either start breaking to the downside or the top side. So we just got to play the game of probability and see what sort of setup shows up today. But looking at all the candles, if we look at this major candle here, this one came all the way up to retest these highs. From there, guess what, we came down to retest these lows. And then after that, we've just been within this sort of consolidation on the lower time frames as well. If you actually look at the 4-hour time frame, we don't have any sort of clear direction in the markets. Something like this is obviously expected. It's the last day of the month. We're approaching the end of the month, so you know, you gotta understand, even the month that we are approaching, you know, your momentum starts to die down pretty much around these times. So something like this is expected. Again, how big is the range? You gotta understand the range is about 149 pips. So most definitely we can capitalize on this range, but we'll have to go down to the lower time frames. Okay, so looking at the lower time frames now, where do we see the massive rejections from? Like, you know, an area that gets retested and then from there gold just starts to dump. I'll actually go down to the hourly time frame because the 30-minute is a little bit too choppy because we are stuck within this consolidation. So when we usually do start a downtrend, look at that, we get some sort of rejections from this area, and once we start to close below this, we start turning this area into some sort of resistance, as you guys can see. And as soon as you turn this area into resistance, at that point you're coming all the way to the downside of the range. So pretty much we are, at the moment, what we are doing is that we are in the middle of the range. So from here we can either take it to the top side or the downside, but I would want to see which way the volatility kicks in as soon as our session opens. So if the volatility is to the top side, I'll look to execute to the top side. If it is to the downside, I'll look to execute to the downside, because you got to understand one thing, guys. When you are within a consolidation, you can't really marry a bias. Even though I am quite long term, I am quite bullish on gold. My bias is bullish, but again, we are stuck within this consolidation. At the moment, all you can do is pretty much just look to execute on a position within the consolidation. So your analysis got to be based within this consolidation, because the thing is, we have a really nice range. But at the moment, look at the amount of times we've tried breaking out. It's just been really hard for gold to actually break up. We've had a retest to the top side as well as the downside. We are back within this mid-range at the moment. So, but so far, looking at the structure, we are forming lower lows and lower highs so far. But previously we had a really massive rejection, which was obviously yesterday we had this rejection. Actually, not yesterday, this was on the 28th. So yeah, it wasn't even yesterday, day before yesterday. So what did we do yesterday? 29th, literally came up. These were the highs that we formed yesterday, by the way. So these were the highs, and then these became our lows for yesterday, and this was pretty much the move we had on the daily candle. But yesterday's daily candle actually pushed down a lot. On this broker, it pushed down all the way to 1769. But if I go on forex.com, you guys can see the wicks are actually all the way here to 1778. I don't know if it's just me, guys. What about you guys? Let me know in the YouTube live chat. Where are your bottom wicks on the previous daily candle? I think the majority's bottom wick should be all the way down to 1769. But again, guys, looking at this bullish, looking at the previous candle, massive rejection from the downside, massive rejection. And we do understand one thing, that we are within this technically we are within this correction phase. The bottom wick has been formed at this point as well on the weekly time frame. So at this point now, honestly, as I said, like, you gotta understand, right, where are we going to close, because this is literally the last pretty much day of the month. So you gotta understand now, weekly's got to start doing some work. So potentially, if we start clearing 1797, which is pretty far away, is about 64 pips. From here, it's not too far away, which is the mid-range. After this, we got clean traffic to the top side of the range, which is about 1812. So I can really see gold flying up today, honestly. Look at the moment, let's look at the price action quickly. How are we moving on the 30-minute time frames? Okay, look at this now. At this point, we are forming higher highs and higher lows. But again, we pushed up a lot. You didn't see any massive bearish candles being printed out. After this, we formed a new high. From here now, we have been, you know, in some sort of a correction phase. But look at the structure once again. Now you're forming a double bottom down here. You're turning this area into some sort of support at the moment, honestly. And looking to the left, usually if we do start tapping this area and start turning this area here into some sort of support, we see massive pushes to the top side. You see a massive push to the top side. So I'll definitely keep this area here in my I'll definitely keep this marked as well, because if we do start turning this area into some sort of support, at that point, look, you're starting to reject off of 1789. You are forming higher highs and higher lows. You are within the mid-range, so now you just got to see which way is the probability. So if our session opens now, we start to see momentum kick into the top side. I'm taking this all the way to the top side of the range, all the way to 1797, honestly, because we do understand that we are quite bullish on gold. We have been within this consolidation phase. So look what the consolidation phase have done now. So we've actually come up to retest these highs now, right? Look, once you retest these highs, price has to come down again to collect some sort of like, you know, significant amount of orders in order for it to start forming higher highs and higher lows. This is exactly what we done on yesterday's candle. We actually grabbed a lot of liquidity below this, came down to retest this key area that we had, still did not violate the structural laws, which are all the way down there. And so now this daily candle here has formed new highs as well as new lows. So obviously you got to understand, it needs to start pulling back a little bit now to the mid-range, and then from there collect some more orders, and then from there we can start going all the way up to retest the daily highs. So I can really see the daily highs being retested today. I can potentially see that happening, and as long as I said, if we start holding 1789 and start turning 1791 into some sort of support area, we can see something like this being repeated once again. And all the way from down here to the top side is about 60 pips, so we can most definitely capitalize on a 1-to-1. But again, we have to wait for another 16 minutes before our session opens. But you guys can see, even this 30-minute candle has started to flip at this point now. You are starting to see a lot of momentum to the top side. This is about 40 pips candle. But yeah, quite bullish on gold today until we start breaking below 1789. But again, even below 1789, I would like to see some sort of retest, because potentially it can be just coming down to grab some liquidity. But look at that, we have the liquidity grab here now. We've had our retest here. I think I'm quite bullish on gold, honestly, today. I can really see us pushing up if we keep on respecting 1791, because you guys got to understand, we were within a correction phase, and now this is pretty much the turning point on the correction phase, and we have been consolidating as well, and price needs to pretty much break. And today is a really volatile session. Let's also look at Forex Factory. We have about USD folder around 3 o'clock. This is when our session ends, so something like we would not be executing on this, but most definitely if we don't see any momentum kick in during our session, then this is when you can expect a lot of momentum to kick in, which is about 3 p.m. This is a really high volatile news event, so most definitely today you are going to see something on gold though, that's for sure. How are you guys? Finny, Case, Paul, everyone good?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Good morning to you guys, right? It's morning for you guys. I just sent the link to Garcia as well. I think you might be sleeping into this, the last day of the month. But honestly, today, quite bullish on gold, guys. I am really bullish on gold. Look at the daily candle. You got to understand, right? Even though the bottom wick is actually not that massive, you got to understand, we have formed the bottom wick literally on a key area. You guys got to understand, this is a really key area. So at this point now, you would not want your daily candle going below 1782 anyway. At that point, you can start potentially turning this area into some sort of resistance, and then you can see a retest of the lows, which are all the way down at 1769. At this point, we have liquidity in the market. The previous candle, the way it closed above this support area that we have, and then now we're literally retesting the support area, and then we ended up forming new highs. But again, you got to understand, price needs to move in some sort of sustainable manner, sustainable price action. So it needs to form higher highs, higher lows. It needs to come down to retest the lows once again. Look at that. We've had really clean price action. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Over here, another low again. Now at this point, now this becomes our highs at this point, right? These are our highs, and now look at that, we're literally just retesting the lows at this point. This is the mid-range as well, so we are retesting the lows of the mid-range, and we're starting to reject. And so that's the thing, right? If we honestly start turning this area into some sort of support, at that point I can see us coming all the way up to retest these higher 1797, and that would give us about 60 pips range, and our stop losses are about 20 pips at average, so we can easily capitalize on a 1-to-1 position over here. But again, we'll just have to see. Even the sells can play out. now because we are within this consolidation. You guys got to understand, if gold wants to go down, we're gonna wait for this area here to get turned into some sort of resistance. At that point, you can see something like this playing out, 1789. Below that, you can see sales playing out as well. It's a game of probability. We just have to wait for those confirmations. But at the moment, I am quite bullish on gold. All the confluences that I have are screaming, we are bullish on gold, because you got to understand, over here, this daily candle here is pretty much telling you that gold has done a really massive retest of a key area, and then after that, this move to the downside, pretty much what this move was needed in order to actually collect liquidity and collect more orders. So at this point now, we've retested this key area that we had, but again, we haven't violated the structural laws, which are all the way down here. You guys got to keep that in your mind. And as I said, I've been saying it for the longest time, we have been within a correction phase on gold. So this has literally just been a correction phase. And now over here, obviously recently the momentum started to die down a little bit. We were within this consolidation, but I can really see us breaking out of this consolidation today. And you got to understand, the monthly needs to close somewhere, right? So I can really see us starting to close above 1797. If we can start closing above 1797, the next monthly candle can pretty much just start turning your 1782 area into some sort of like support, or even technically 1797 into some sort of support. And then from there, we can just start pushing up and we can fill this wick. The wick fill is all the way to the top side. We haven't violated the monthly lows. We are still bullish on gold. You guys got to keep that in your mind. This wick fill here becomes our destination at the moment on the monthly time frame, if we do keep respecting the laws and do close bullish. So I'm quite bullish on gold, honestly. We just need a little bit more volatility on our side today and can definitely execute on a buy sell. Just gonna input some risk on magic keys. But we do want to be super careful though, because you got to understand one thing. At the moment, again, we are reacting to the market. We're not predicting anything. We do understand that we have been within this consolidation. This is actually the highs of the consolidation, and the lows of the consolidation are just down here. So if we do want to execute on a position, it has to be pretty much from down here, which is the mid range. You don't want to be taking a buy position like literally when you're 10 or 20 pips away from the highs, right? It doesn't make sense because you haven't actually broken off this consolidation. It's been holding for a really long time. And you got to understand, another thing is, with above a consolidation, you have a lot of liquidity. So pretty much price can first grab liquidity. After that, we can see a break. And so that's the thing. Break of structure might just be a faker and a liquidity grab because of this consolidation we are within. So we have to be extra careful. Safest trades will be taken from this area here, which is about 1789, mid-range of this consolidation. From here, we can see the sells playing out as well as the buys playing out. So let's just see what happens. Gotta just chill, sit on our hands and wait for the extra bit of confirmation. But again, look at this 30-minute candle as well, starting to reject at this point now. Let's just look at what the hourly's doing. Same thing, starting to reject, massive rejection, having violated the hourly lows as well. Literally just came down to retest this key area, forming a bottom wick. At this point now, we start breaking we start breaking these hourly highs. Will come in all the way to the top side of the range. And if we look at the minute structure, we can probably have some sort of like stop loss below 1791, keeping like a 20 pip stop loss. And I think we start breaking above this after forming this massive rejection from the downside, collecting all of these orders. I think we're going to see explosive candle, honestly, like a massive candle. So let's just see what we can see. Another let's just wait to see. Another 9 minutes left. Let's just see, guys. How's everyone doing though, guys? Good. What are you guys expecting? What are you guys looking for today? Buys as well? Or just staying out today, Paul?
Everything is looking good for buys for now. Still, it still hasn't broken my structure that will tell me to go down. So, still looking for buys.
Amazing. How about you guys on the YouTube live stream? What are you guys looking for today? But honestly, today I'm a big fan of buys. For sells, it becomes a little bit tricky, right? Well, once again, it becomes a little bit tricky for us to actually execute on a sell position because You gotta understand, sales, either I would like to capitalize on sales if we see massive rejections from pretty much like 1797 above this point after grabbing like liquidity. Let's say we start violating the structure highs, right? So let's say we start breaking above 1799 and start tapping into like 1800 or even like 1802, and then from there start turning this area here into some sort of significant resistance, which is 1797. At that point, that becomes a fake out slash liquidity grab. Up here we have a lot of liquidity orders, a lot of orders are going to get stopped out, a lot of buy orders are going to get executed, a lot of stop losses are going to get hit, right? So we start turning this area into some sort of resistance. Now let's say massive rejections, start forming lower lows and lower highs. Break of the structure lows can really give us a really nice sell position all the way to the downside of the range. So that's definitely something I'll be looking out for. But again, at this point we have the 4-hour lows right here. If we start violating the 4-hour lows, again would want to see a pullback. Again, we do have volatility in the market, but again, I don't want to execute on a sell position just based off volatility. I would want to see that second bit for confirmation. After that, we can take it down. So let's just see what happens, guys. Just need to wait. Got another 7 minutes left. Hopefully today we have more volatility in the market. Yesterday was just really slow session, but I think it's the last day of the month. We are expecting something for sure. And again, the monthly candle is still just respecting its own lows. The amount of times we've tried breaking to the downside, it's just not happening. Honestly, it's not going to go down, it's going to go up. Really simple. It needs to go somewhere, right? And otherwise it will be stuck within this consolidation. So it's so simple. Now we're trying to figure out, okay, when it breaks to the top side, let's say if it does break to the top side, is it a liquidity grab, or are we actually going to start turning this area into some sort of support to push up? So now if we do grab a lot of liquidity here, and then after that, as I said, we start to reject from 1802 and start turning pretty much 1797 into some sort of resistance area, even all the way down to 1796 into some sort of support area, I think we can see a really massive push to the top side as well. That's for sure, guys. That's for sure. So either way, we can take a trade above the consolidation we have. We can take a trade below the consolidation. But in my opinion, the best placements will be the mid-range of this consolidation. So if we can see some sort of pullbacks down to 1791, from there, if we can execute on a position, that'll be lovely. But looking at the minute structure as well, we are starting to violate the structure highs at this point. You guys can see we formed a double top up here, which is a really strong confirmation. It just shows us that there are a lot of sell orders up here. A lot of sellers are saying up here. So every time price gets to this level, we drive price all the way down to 1789. So if we start to violate this, that's more confirmation to the top side. So yeah, again, really significant area here being violated at this point. Now the probability to the top side is just starting to increase. Guys, gotta keep that in your mind as well. Another 5 minutes left. This is the new 5-minute open now. Should have a lot of volatility. So honestly, if we can start forming 1791, if that can be the area for the bottom wick when we get our 30-minute open, and then from there potentially start seeing a massive push to the top side, that would be amazing. That would be amazing, honestly. Because the way we are forming this double bottom literally above 1789, which is our key area, it looks beautiful so far because this is your mid-range, right? So price had 2 attempts to break down. You guys got to keep that in your mind. But every time price actually comes down, you see just massive rejections to the top side. But again, now we have no business actually breaking below this. So let's say when our session opens at this point, right, you start to violate 1789, start turning this into some sort of resistance. At that point, you can get a clean break to the downside. Can easily execute on the 1-to-1 position. But until then, just quite bullish on gold. You do want to see some sort of pullbacks though when we do get our session opening, because you guys can see have had really massive push to the top side. At this point now, you want to see some sort of pullback, maybe 50% correction of this move to the top side, and from there we can see a massive engulfing bullish candle. That could be our entry, keeping stop losses actually below the wicks, and then from there potentially take it all the way to the top side. That could be it. That could definitely be it. So let's just see how it plays out, guys. Just gotta see on our hands and let's see what happens. But let's say again, as I said, if we are about like let's say even if we're about like 30 pips away from the top side of the range, it becomes a little bit tricky to execute on a buy position because many rejection areas. There's a rejection area here, rejection area up here, rejection area all the way up there. So at that point, it becomes a little bit more safe to actually wait for price to come to the next area, which is an area of interest for us, which is all the way up here, right? At that point, we're looking to see, okay, are we going to actually violate the structure highs? Potentially at that point, you're grabbing liquidity, and then with the liquidity you're going to see a massive push to the top side, right, which is 1802, and then from there you're looking to see, is this area being respected as a support area, or are we going to turn it into resistance? At that point you can just execute accordingly. But another 3 minutes left for the new half an hour to open and the new 30-minute candle to open, so let's see what happens. This one's still respecting the lows, so far so good. Previous one did not have a wick, so this one came down to do a retest of the area that we have, and then from here formed a new high. At this point, again, as I said, on the minute time frame, we are expecting some sort of correction, so this can pretty much be that correction now all the way down to 1791. From there, if we start to see massive bullish candles being printed out as soon as we get our session opening, that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. So let's just see. Okay, magic keys are good to go as well. Okay, amazing stuff. Look, we're about to literally, at this point now, the 30-minute highs are literally your new structure on the minute time frame as well. Keep that in your mind, guys. So look at that, you're still forming higher highs and higher lows, but at this point now, I do want to see some sort of like pullbacks. So pullbacks, you'll pretty much see like couple bearish candles, at least like correcting 50% of this move to the downside. So got another minute left for the new 30-minute to open. You guys go understand, this was the area price approached this area all the way down here, and then from there you saw new highs being formed as well. So if we do start respecting this support area here, look, I'll be looking to execute on buy position as well. Let's just see what happens though, and then I'll be using these structure lows as stop losses. But let's see what happens. Let's look at the 30-minute candle now. We want to see an upper wick as well as a bottom wick on the new 30-minute candle. We have this support area around here as well. From here, you guys can see massive rejections. Just want to keep that in our mind. This area here is an area of significant. If we do start closing above this as well, I would not be expecting price to go below this. If there is a lot of volatility in the market, another minute left. Let's just see what happens. 1792 to 1791 becomes that range where we can execute on a position. Okay, I want to see price pushing down a little bit now, coming down to at least 1792.10. From there, engulfing bullish candle to the top side. I do want to see a nice bit of a bottom wick though, I'll be completely honest. If the bottom wick is really tiny, at that point I'm gonna wait. If you can start seeing a nice bottom wick, potentially down to like 1791.500, that'll be a beautiful bottom wick. So at this point now, look, we're attempting to break the lows, the structure lows on the minute time frame, because we do have a lot of volatility. So at this point now, this is when you're expecting either the pullbacks or the rejections, right? So if it starts breaking these structure lows, at that point you're expecting 1791 to hold, and then from there you're expecting massive engulfing bullish candles to take it all the way to the top side, because we need to see some sort of correction now. And from there, let's see what happens. I want to see price pushing down a little bit now. You have the upper wick as well as the bottom wick on the 30-minute time frame. Still attempting to break the lows of the structure. There we go. These are the structure lows being violated. At this point now, price has no business breaking its own highs. So if it starts breaking its own highs, you can safely assume that this is the bottom wick done. At this point now, you start breaking these highs, could potentially take an impulsive entry. I'll be looking to do that as well. Let's just see how it plays out though. Let me see if I can keep my magic keys on. Again, it could potentially be a retest. The highs have not been violated. This was a retest and we're starting to drop once again. So at this point now, look, this is the next key area that we are approaching. And from here, again, let's just see if the 30-minute highs are being respected, or are we going to start to violate them? Because you are retesting a key area at this point now. This is pretty much your correction done as well. Tapping a key resistance area on the minute structure. So this is your 30-minute highs now. It's a really significant area that we have. Price has no business breaking its own highs now. it has a bottom wick as well. So if it starts breaking its own highs, at that point you're saying, okay, cool, look, you tapped into this resistance area. From here, collected a lot of orders to push down. So what business does it have breaking its own highs? Once again, starting to turn this area into some sort of support. So if it breaks its own highs and you don't see massive rejections, and you see a rocket ship of a candle, at that point we're potentially coming up. Until then, quite bearish at the moment. Still is in some sort of correction phase, and this might just be it, guys. This candle might just be it. Honestly, look at the push you're starting to see to the top side. But again, as I said, I would want to see these highs being violated, and I want to see some sort of close as well. I don't want to take any sort of impulsive entries just yet. So I want to see a decent close, and I want to see these highs being violated. Again, we're playing the game of probability. If it starts breaking the highs of the 30-minute candle, at that point probability to the top side starts to go up. But again, what price has not done is it's not tapped into this resistance area that we have. It's not tapped into it to the T, so potentially can be forming that upper wick, a little bit of a deeper upper wick to start pushing all the way to the downside, right? Again, now look, price is starting to hold once again. This area is still holding. So let's just see what happens now. I'm looking to see an engulfing bullish candle from this area to take it to the top side. Otherwise, as I said, we can see sells playing out as well, but safe sells for me will be below here, right? Below at least 1789. Until then, kind of just expecting some sort of bottom wick and some sort of correction. Look at your minute time frame now. Look at that, still forming high highs, high lows. Structure lows are all the way down there as well. As I said, like below this, we start to violate structure lows. At that point, you can safely assume like, okay, now sells can play out. But again, you are still asking the same question. Are we grabbing liquidity to push up? Or are we going to grab liquidity to turn this area into some sort of significant resistance to push down? So just have to wait for price to come to us. But at the moment, I can pretty much see bias playing out though. If we see something like this being printed out, at that point you can expect price to repeat itself, right? This area here. Until then, you can see a push to the downside as well. If we start breaking below this, you can potentially come down to 1789. But if we do hold this level now at this point, let's see what the next 5-minute candle does, because that's when you're going to see more volatility kick in. The next 5-minute candle can give us a better confirmation pretty much. So let's just see. Again, this area still is holding at the moment. Look, starting to have something like this being printed out right now. So if the next 5-minute does the same thing, comes up, and this area you start forming some sort of double top up here and starts breaking below this, you can potentially see sells playing out down to 1790, and then from there can see buyers playing out as well. So let's just see. Another minute left for the new 5-minute to open. Still failing to break below the structure lows. Still just respecting this area as a support area at the moment. So this is the new 5-minute open now. Let's look at the previous 5-minute candle. Okay. Now this one does not have an upper wick so far. It's coming up to potentially form an upper wick. At this point now, look, it has no business breaking the lows of the previous 5-minute. This might just be our entry candle. Let's just wait for it to close though, because potentially can be retesting this, and from there you can see massive rejections. So let's just wait for it to close, and from here might be looking to execute on a position soon. Still waiting for it to close though, guys. I want to wait for that extra bit of confirmation, because I'm not looking to take any sort of impulsive entries. But look at this area now. This is the area where we saw sellers take control from. So if we start closing above this now, start turning this area into some sort of support, we're going all the way to the top side, which we have been waiting for. Let's see how the next candle opens as well though, because the next one can pretty much fake this previous candle out, or we're going to start turning this into support and start pushing to the top side, and then the lows of these candles can give us our stop losses. So it'll be a beautiful trade to the top side, hopefully. Now, oh, this is it now. This is it. Let's see how the next candle opens. It needs to pull down a little bit, create the bottom wick. So I'm going to look to open this trade now as soon as we start seeing another push to the top side. Partial TP, guys. So as soon as we start breaking these highs now after forming a bottom wick, I'm taking this all the way to the top side. Again, as I said, this can fake the previous candle up, but if you start breaking to the top side now, can put the stop losses below this and just let it ride all the way to the top side of the range. Look at the volatility in this candle now. Should not be breaking below this, so I might be looking to execute on a position as soon as we start breaking above this last bit of an area that we do have, where we see sellers taking control from. Start clearing this. At that point, you're breaking the resistance area, the next resistance area. So I might be executing on a position now, guys. Let's just see if I want to see another nice push to the top side. Start breaking above this. I'm in this trade. At that point, I'm going to keep my stop loss below the structure though, giving it a little bit more room to breathe. It'll be about 24 pips. 24 pips. Again, waited for this confirmation, got it, there we go. Let's see now, again, another pin bar bullish candle. Now you want to see these highs being broken and can take a position there. So far so good, and there we go. The next area is this area we are approaching. We start breaking above this, I'm taking a position here. Until then, just waiting to see what sort of pullback we can get, because this bullish candle was really massive, so we can start to see some sort of pullback. But if there is momentum, we're going to start breaking above this. At that point, I'm going to take a position and obviously keep a bigger stop loss, just in case price wants to come up to this level. From there, start to reject again. But at that point, look, you're expecting price to respect these levels that we have and start pushing all the way to the top side. Let's just see what happens. Again, really massive bullish candle. Can see a really massive bearish candle as well, just to correct this. But if there is a lot of volatility, at that point you're going to start breaking above this and you're coming to the top side of the range. And yeah, the entry is a little bit late up here, but just waiting for the extra bit of confirmation. Now we start breaking above this, I'm taking a trade to the top side. Start breaking above this area here that we have though. Start breaking above this, you can use this as a stop loss. That's what I'm going to use as a stop loss, and I'm taking this all the way to the top side. As I said, we got clean traffic all the way to the top side of the consolidation. We are within a consolidation at the moment. This is the mid-range. You start rejecting the mid-range, you are most probably coming to the top side once again. You start turning the mid-range into resistance. At that point, you're coming to the downside. There we go. This might just be it now. Looking to take a trade here. Another push to the top side. And I'm going to execute. All right, I'm in this trade now, guys. I'm in this trade now. Taking it to the top side at this point now. Partial TP at 1x1. You can still reject from the top side of the range, but it's fine. My partial TP at 1x1 now. Again, waited for our confirmations and took the trade. So at this point now, you can expect some sort of rejections from here. We start clearing this, we're coming all the way to the top side. So this is the top side of the range on the minute time frame. From here, you can see the pullbacks, but as soon as we start clearing this, start turning this into some sort of support, we should be good to go up. And we're up about 8 pips at this point now. Look at this beautiful trade. About 8 pips at this point now. Nice, amazing. 8 pips up at this point, guys. 8 pips up. So look, again, you're looking to see where can we reject from. What's the next area we can start to reject? At the moment, so far so good. So far so good. Next area that you are starting to approach is this resistance area up here, which is at 17.95, and you are within a consolidation as well, so you will see a lot of pullbacks, a lot of rejections if there is not a lot of volatility. Oh, more than 10 pips up at this point, guys. Wow, 14 pips up. As soon as we start tapping 17.95.40, I'm going to make it risk free. As soon as we start tapping this again, can see some more pullbacks. We are within a consolidation, so we can tap into a rejection area from there, start to pull back. But wow, so far so good, guys. So far so good. At this point now, honestly, we've got another minute left. With the new minute, you can see that pullback because the new 5-minute open needs to create that bond wick, right? So we might come down to 17.94, start tapping the lows, and then from there see a rejection to the top side. But again, you start breaking these highs again, start tapping 17.95, make sure securing. I'll be looking to secure profits, take off some risk, and start making it risk free. But yeah, now just gonna let the volatility do its thing, honestly. So far so good. So far so good. Look at this, more than 10 pips up at this point. More than 10 pips up at this point. So now again, another 5 minutes left as well for the new 15-minute to open. So let's see if we can hit the TP before the 15-minute open. Otherwise, that's the next bit of the volatile session we are approaching. Oh, there we go, 20 pips up at this point. I'm making it risk-free, guys. This is a risk-free trade. This is a risk-free trade at this point. More than 20 pips up. I'm really not looking to take any more drawdowns on this trade now. More than 20 pips up. I was more than 20 pips up at one point. Look at this beast of a trade now. The TP is literally couple pips away at this point. Couple pips away. Couple pips away. More than 20 pips up at this point now. And this candle here might just be the one. I might be looking to take off some profits and make it. Let's just see. This is 21 pips up at this point now. The TP is coming up, guys. The TP is coming up. 22 pips up at this point. And the TP has been hit. That's a winning trade, guys. There we go. Winning trade. That's a winning trade right there. The TP has been hit. One trade taken within the consolidation. I told you guys, let's just play the game of probability and let it do some damage. And now at this point, again, top side of the consolidation is expected. More than 20 pips up, guys. And that's a winning trade taken right there. Make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream. Amazing, amazing trade taken. What a W, right? More than 20 pips up at this point. Let's go. There's a winning trade taken, but again, guys, as I said, I might be looking to scale in on this, but now I want to see the break of structure. At that point, I'm looking to see, okay, now we're grabbing liquidity. Are we going to start holding this area as a support area? We're going to turn into resistance, and then from there start to drop, because you can see really massive sales playing out from up here, and even the buy. So I'm going to start to take off some profits at 17.97. So I'm going to secure some of my run up at 17.97 for sure. So as soon as we start tapping 17.97, I'm going to close 50% of my runner, because we can potentially scale in on another position. But guys, there you go, winning trade. Make sure you guys drop a like on the YouTube live stream as well, and yeah, let's see if we can scale in on this position. Again, I told you guys, let's just play the game of probability. Everything worked out to the T. Again, you gotta understand, monthly needs to close somewhere, right? So today has to be a really volatile session. Either we're gonna see really massive rejections to the downside, or we're gonna see really massive push to the top side. It's so simple. So look, at this point now, you're starting to tap this resistance area, and look, from here you can expect a pullback. We start clearing this area 17.96. We're going to see a massive push to the top side. This candle is going to be a rocket ship now, guys. More than 30 pips up. Honestly, start tapping 17.97.14. I'm gonna take off some more profits, honestly. Oh wow, what beautiful trade, guys. What a beautiful trade this was. Beautiful trade. At this point, you can expect pullbacks because we are tapping this resistance area. So let's see if we can start turning this resistance area into some sort of support, and then from there you can potentially take it all the way to the top side. If we start holding this area here now as a support area, at that point you're coming to the top side of the consolidation. Above consolidation we have a lot of liquidity as well, so we start breaking above 17.99, like start tapping 1800, you're going to see a massive push all the way to 1802 easily. And let's just see what happens. We have to sit on our hands. Might be looking to scale in, honestly, because today we can expect gold to be a rocket ship, man. If we start breaking above this, start breaking off the consolidation, start breaking off the range, oh, gold's going to be a rocket ship today, guys. But there we go, guys. One trade executed with precision, straight to the TP, more than 20 pips up at this point. Now, honestly, I am expecting about 100 pips to the top side. I've been telling you guys why I'm so interested in bias today. Look at everything, man. Look, at the moment, we haven't even retested the highs of the previous candle. So you got to understand, the previous upper wick becomes our first destination, which is still about 35 pips away, and if we start clearing this, we got another 60 pips of a range, and if we start turning this area into some sort of support, at that point we're coming all the way up, potentially closing above this resistance area on the monthly. Oh, that would be amazing. And you gotta understand, like 3 o'clock we have a lot of news kicking in, so if we can have like some amazing runners running like in 100 pips TPs, I might just leave my runner open, honestly, if it starts to show me those confirmations, because again, we are within this consolidation. From here we can pretty much start to reject and go to the downside of the consolidation, so you want to be extra bit careful. But we start breaking above this, oof, I might just hold this runner all the way to the top side, honestly. Awesome, great job. Thank you guys, thank you everyone in the YouTube live stream. Did you guys capitalize on this trade with us? Did you guys catch this? How many pips did you catch? Let us know. And have you guys made it risk-free? Because this is a risk-free trade for me now. It's just the runner running at this point. And I had 1% risk on this trade, so I'm up about just about 1%, I think. I've closed about 90% at 1-to-1, so we're running at more than 1-to-1 at this point now. So I'll secure some more profits literally up here, the next resistance level that we have, which is up here. At that point, I'm just gonna let the runner do whatever the runner wants to do. Just want to secure some more profits at pretty much 17.97 at 17.97. I'm just gonna put a line there as well, by the way. 17.97, literally here. I'm gonna close 50% of my runner once again, secure just a little bit more runner, and then after that just let it do whatever it wants to do, and just put my TP pretty much at 100 pips, because oh, there we go, almost 30 pips up at this point now. I think we start breaking above this, we're gonna see a rocket ship of a candle, man. Rocket ship of a candle. There we go, guys, more than 30 pips up. Let's see if I don't see any sort of rejections, I'm gonna hold on. Let's see now, because from here you can expect rejections, right? You're tapping into the next sort of resistance area. So we start breaking below these lows, I'm going to secure 50% of my runner, just to secure some more profits. At that point I can just leave the runner. Actually, you know what, guys, I'm just going to let it do some damage. We have so much profits, man. We've secured so much profits. I'm just going to let it do some damage, honestly. The only concern I have is obviously I don't want to get wicked out. You know what, I'm going to secure half, close half, just in case Yeah, I'm gonna close half of my runner down here, and the rest I'm just gonna let it run off 100 pips to secure some more profits, because previously my runners have been getting stopped out like every single day. I haven't had like a decent runner in a long time, so I'd rather be safe than sorry today, honestly. So I'm gonna put this rest of the runner at 100 pips, and let's just see if we can achieve that. I am interested in scaling in though, but I do want to see price coming up to this level, starting to violate these structure highs. After that, if you can see support being formed above here, at that point I'm looking to scale in, but until then, literally just gonna let this runner do some damage. At the moment, look, you're forming higher highs, higher lows. Amazing, right? So this is the last bit of rejection we do expect from this resistance area, which is expected, right? You tap into a resistance area, you're gonna see sell orders being executed, you're gonna see price starting to pull back. That's why I've secured some more profits up here just in case I get stopped out at break even. But if I don't get stopped at break even, if you start clearing this 17.97 area, at that point, man, we're gonna see a rocket ship of a candle all the way to 17.98 in my opinion. And when my Ftmo, is it better to use 0.5% or 1%? Honestly, it really depends. Oh, someone secured 15 pips with lot size 15. Amazing, Amir, man. Amazing. But honestly, guys, it depends with your tolerance. What can you tolerate risk-wise? It depends. But obviously, I would not recommend going over 2% mark, especially if you're on like a bigger account, if you're on like 200k. But yeah, honestly, like 1% is decent. I did risk about 1% on this trade, which I took. You guys can see open trade with lots 8.28, and the stop loss was obviously about like I think 20 pips as well. So yeah, so I made my 1-to-1 on this trade, secured some more profits on the runner. At this point, I'm just letting the rest run. Again, you understand, price has not done much just yet. We can still expect some more massive moves to kick in, but now you gotta understand, let's be realistic, right now your 15 minutes just forming that bottom wick. You gotta understand the 15-minute candle is forming that bottom wick because it's tapped into that resistance area. So now it starts breaking its own highs, you're coming all the way to the top side of the consolidation, and if we can start clearing the top side of the consolidation with the new 4-hour opening soon, oh, that's gonna be the push to the top side we have been waiting for. So let's just hope our runners can survive, because these runners are going to do some damage today, that's for sure. Again, guys, as I said, look at the price section, right? Look at your daily candle. At this point now, we had the attempt. Price did attempt to actually break to the downside to retest the lows, but it failed. The mid-range became that point, the turning point for gold to start pushing up again, which I did tell you guys. Pretty much what it was that we tapped into a key area. So, you know, correction started again. Correction is expected. Sustainable price action needs to move in waves, right? So this became your correction area. We actually did grab liquidity as well. If you look at the structure, look at your structure. You violated your structure lows at this point, grabbing liquidity, and then as soon as you grab liquidity, look at this rocket ship of a candle now, almost 30 pips up once again, guys. So now I'm really bullish on gold. Really bullish on gold. It's just that next area that we are approaching. Honestly, you start breaking above these daily highs once again, you gotta understand the amount of liquidity that's up here is insane. You're gonna see this just turn into a rocket ship. Honestly, this daily candle is gonna be a rocket ship. I'm actually really excited. If we start breaking above 17.99, you never know. With gold, you actually never know, because you gotta understand, we've been within this consolidation for the longest time, guys. Look, we've been closing within this consolidation, so we got close outside the consolidation today. So it might just be today that we start closing up here somewhere 18 or 6 or 18 or 8. 18 or 8 is a realistic target. I know it is really far away. It's about 100 pips, and gold has moved about like I think roughly about 150 pips. Actually, that's a really realistic target on intraday time frame. So honestly, I can really see that being hit today, 1807. If we start breaking above the previous daily wick, I can really see that happening, honestly, with the new 4-hour approaching as well. So let's just see. I think our runners can definitely do some damage, guys. 10k account and used 0.35 lots and made 15 pips. Amazing, guys, amazing. You gotta understand, some people, their goal every day is to just aim for 10 pips a day, and they are so happy with 10 pips. Look at that, we're sitting on more than 30 pips at the moment, and this is pretty much going to ride all the way to the top side if we can see the violation of structure occurs over here. Nice trade. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. Again, as I said, guys, just have to wait for this to break. I might actually be looking to scale in, but obviously I'm not going to scale in with 1% risk once again. But if we can start breaking above here, start turning this into some sort of support, I'm looking to scale in above 17.99. Honestly, I'm really looking to scale in above 17.90. What I want to see is, this is my criteria for me to scale in. First of all, I want to see BOS, break of structure. At that point, I want to see a retest, a massive retest, and then pullbacks, and then again I want to see this area here being respected as a support area. From there, I'm looking to take it back up, because when it comes to liquidity, it can become a little bit tricky, right? Yeah, sure, you can take an impulsive entry and it can pretty much work out, but I don't want to take an impulsive entry because I'm looking to hold it, right? So let's just see. That will be my criteria, and this is really realistic, guys. It's only about like, what's it called, like 20 pips away, 30 pips away, and the new 4 hour is approaching in the next 8 minutes. You guys got to keep that in your mind. So if we can grab all of this liquidity with the new 4 hour open, oh, this is going to be a rocket ship to the top side. But look at that. Look at this beautiful candle, man. Look at this beautiful candle. Honestly, more than 30 pips up at this point. Once again, guys, bro, send the 1-to-1 video over. I need to watch it again, law. My bro, I think I added you on Telegram. Let me finish the session and then I'll send you the video. No problem. But just look at this beast, man. Look at this beast. Look at the 4 hour just starting to reject at this point as well. Look at that, it violated the lows of the previous 4 hour. We saw the structure lows being violated on the 30 minutes to grab liquidity to, you know, give us that rocket ship of a candle with the half one opening. Did you guys execute on this position? Paul, Garcia, K, Finbar, everyone?
Yeah, caught a bit of it.
Amazing. Where's Garcia? Don't see Garcia today.
He was on for a bit and then he dropped off.
You must have. Okay. How about UK? Did you capitalize on this?
I did.
Amazing.
I'm already out. I don't have a runner though, because you know I was planning on leaving early. But yeah, I took my profit.
Amazing, great, winning day. Honestly, now at this point, no one should be looking to execute on any more trades anyway, right? Again, for me, the only thing is that I want to see how price reacts around here, because of, like, again, you're seeing this in terms of like risk to reward. Like, let's say if I was to risk some of daily profits today that I've made to gain like a lot more profits, at that point I'm willing to do that, because we have been this, guys, one thing, we have been within this consolidation for the longest time. And look at that, this is the last day of the month. Can you guys like see this, put everything together? Oh, it's just we're gonna see an insane move. We start to violate the structure. Honestly, going to see an insane move. So that's why I'll be willing to risk just more. Oh, there we go, starting to push up now, guys. There we go, almost 40 pips up at this point. Let me actually just input some more risk on magic keys. Look at that, at this point now, again, you're about to achieve daily highs. Daily highs are coming up at this point now. Daily highs are all the way up here. Just need a little bit more volatility to kick in, which is in the next 6 minutes pretty much. The new 4 hour open, right? So let's just see if we can see that. But look at this beast, more than 30 pips up. More than 30 pips up, man. Do you have a Telegram group? No, I don't have a Telegram group, guys. You guys can follow me on Insta, because I'll be making a Telegram group soon though. Just to, you know, discuss Forex, crypto, NFTs. So yeah, follow me on Insta, and when obviously I do make a Telegram group, I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you updated. But at the moment, I don't have any groups. I do have a Discord, but I don't really use it, to be honest. If you do want to obviously get in touch with me, probably best place will be Insta. But a lot of people have recently started to make my you know, those instas, they make it and they try to copy my Insta, they try to copy everything basically to scam people. So be careful, man, be careful. I only have one Insta, and the link is literally in the description of this live stream. So don't get scammed, because the amount of Instas I've seen now, D.A4x1, TA Forex 345, so many scammers, man. It's crazy. This industry is just a little bit insane. Oh, look at this rocket ship of a candle now. Another 4 minutes left as well, guys. If we can start closing above this, the next 4 minute candle is going to be a rocket ship. I think we can see 100 pips to the top side today. Yes, actually, someone sent me an invite and it was you. I sent you an invite. Invite to what? I didn't send you no invites. I don't think it was me, my friend. It was someone else. I didn't send anyone any sort of invites. But if the scammer is sending you guys invite to my YouTube, then I mean, no biggie. As long as he's not trying to take money out of your pockets, be careful. Okay. This area here that we are approaching is so crucial. Yo, what's up, guys? Here, did you take any trades? Did you take this buy position?
Yeah, brother, I did. Still holding.
Nice, my brother. Nice. You know, today is like one of those days. If this works out, honestly, holding this will give us a massive push to the top side. It's gonna be really worth it. I'm really willing to hold this all the way to 100 pips because I can see that happening with the new forward approaching in the next 3 minutes. Let's just hope we survive. If we can survive the next 3 minutes, it'll be honestly. But guys, make sure you do drop a like on the YouTube live stream. Look, we're here giving you free analysis, free breakdowns. This is like professional level trading as well. This is not your basic retail trading. Obviously, like, you know, we haven't shown you the way we do our analysis, but they are really extreme, really intense. So we go based off a lot of confluences. So make sure you guys do drop a like on the YouTube live stream, as it will help us with the algorithm, and then the more people that join us, the more people we can help. Pretty much this is free education, so drop a like. And again, let's see if we can survive this bottom wick now. The bottom wick's gonna start forming that bottom wick in the next 2 minutes for the new 4-hour open now. Starting to reject this area again. You're expecting a correction. Really massive push to the top side again. It's got a correct, pretty much 50% correction. And let's see with the new 4-hour open if we can survive. But if we do get stopped out here, at that point it becomes a bit tricky for me to execute on another position. In order for me to execute on a position, I want this runner to be open as well. If this gets stopped out, I'm gonna call it a day, guys. But yeah, everyone in the YouTube live stream, guys, what are you guys looking for? Let us know. 107k subscribers and only 33 people watching. Yeah, my subscriber base is not Forex. I don't have 107k subscribers from Forex content, if that makes sense. I used to do some other things. That's where the subscribers are from. Those videos are private. From Forex, I probably don't even have 1,000 subscribers, to be honest. Probably have less than 1,000 subscribers. Like, that's, I'm talking like people coming from Forex. But yeah, it's just a process, man. I've done it before and I can do it again, but this time obviously it's a different niche. So let's just see how it works out. Just lost a 215 pips trade because I didn't stick to my strategy. What an impatient fool I am. 215 pips. How did you do that? Was it on gold? Jeez, that's massive, man. The push to 1797 broke a 30-minute zone that was being respected all morning. We'll wait for price to respect and surpass 1797. Looking for sells with the new 4-hour open if we hold below 1795. Okay. That's great, man. That's great. A lot of people looking for sells. Amazing. To be quite honest, I'm actually looking for buys if my runner survives. I'm expecting gold to push up 100 pips today from this point here. But yeah, again, sells can play out as well. But man, my bias is bullish on gold today, that's for sure though. This is a new 4-hour open now. Again, let's look at the wicks. Have the bottom wick at this point now. So if we start breaking above now, start violating the structure highs, at that point you're not coming down anymore. But again, if we start breaking below now, then you can expect pullbacks. But honestly, if we start breaking above 1797, at that point we're not coming down, in my opinion. But this is that crucial area from here. Again, as I said, correction is expected, so we can start pushing down. It's not something which we are not expecting, but again, as I said, if we start violating the structure highs or coming up for the liquidity, and at that point gold is going to turn into the rocket shape. Look at this resistance area here is being respected as well. You're turning it into some sort of support. Well, again, because of this resistance area here, you're forming that upper wick first. So potentially, if you do start to see these lows being violated at this point, you can start pushing down now. But you hold this level now, you start breaking above this structure highs. I'm not expecting gold to come down anymore. I am not expecting gold to come down. I'm not expecting any rejection from 1797 at that point. I'm expecting it to break 1797, break 1798, and then maybe reject from 1800. That's where I'm expecting the rejections from. And above 1800, you have a lot of liquidity. You start breaking above 1800, you're pushing all the way up to 1802. 1802 is being hit at that point. But it just depends how much volatility we're going to see now with this new 4-hour open, because you can see sales playing out as well. Right now, technically, you are forming the upper wick until you start to violate the structure highs. When you start breaking the structure highs, at that point, this is not your upper wick. You're forming a new high. You guys got to keep that in your mind. Good day, team. We have doctor appointment this morning. Thank you for the community. Keep moving forward, one trade at a time. See you all tomorrow. See you guys. See you. I just want to literally see what we can do here with the NYSE open approaching soon as well. But honestly, with this new 4-hour, we start breaking above structure highs, start turning 1797 area into some sort of support. At that point, we're not coming down. Until then, this pretty much does not tell us anything so far, because we haven't formed a new high, and so this can technically just be your upper wick being formed in the new 4-hour. So we have to wait for that extra bit of confirmation. Head and shoulders on 30 if 1797 is rejected. Amazing. Yeah, I don't usually trade head and shoulders or patterns, but yeah, a lot of people do trade them and they are profitable. So yeah, it could work out. So far at the moment, all I can see is the 4-hour forming an upper wick as well as a bottom wick. But if you start to violate the structure highs, at that point you have the upper wick because you tapped into that resistance area, and now you're starting to form a new high. The upper wick was done long time ago at that point. Until then, it's just the upper wick, and can still see more momentum to the downside, most definitely, if we start breaking below 1795. Me either, just saying, being in a buy or be cautious if it falls. That could be why. Yeah, most definitely. But I'll be completely honest, you can see sales playing out as well. But as I said, if we come up, we start breaking up, at that point I'm not expecting gold to come down anymore. But until then, yeah, we can see sales playing out, because you gotta understand, right now technically 4-hour can just be forming the upper wick now. So now if it starts breaking the bottom wick once again and starts turning this area here into some sort of resistance, at that point you can come down. But until then, you're just within this consolidation on the minute time frame as well. But honestly, I've secured like even 50% of my runner up there, so really not concerned either way. But it'll be nice to see our runners playing out 200 pips. That'll be the goal today. At that point, we can again scale in with another low risk position above there. But I do want to see that first. Usually I would not buy gold when gold's like all-time highs, but today you gotta understand, this is the last day of the month. It needs to do something on the monthly time frame. And if we grab all of this liquidity to the top side and turn this area into some sort of significant support, at that point there is nothing stopping us from coming all the way up to at least like 1808. You have clean traffic on the intraday time frame. So this might just be it. Now the mount wick is done. I think we're about to violate the structure highs at this point now. Potentially, if we have more volatility in the market, we're going to start breaking above 1797, start turning it into support, and then at that point gold coming all the way to the top side for the liquidity, because we have liquidity to the top side. We're coming for the liquidity after that. Look at that, the bottom wick is done, still rejecting this resistance areas, turning it into support now. At this point now, we start breaking the 4-hour highs once again. We're coming for the structure highs. It's really simple, right? But look, we're holding this area as a support area at the moment. Still not rejecting it. So yeah, still within this consolidation. And this is your new 5-minute open as well. So pretty much it's got to form an upper wick as well as a bottom wick. So now you have the upper wick, start breaking the upper wick. Next destination becomes the previous upper wick. And you start breaking that, you're approaching this resistance area. Now you start breaking above this, you're coming to the top side for liquidity as soon as you start clearing 1797. I really don't see gold rejecting just yet though. I'm expecting gold to be a beast to the top side. That's what I'm expecting gold to be today. If we can come up here to grab liquidity, you're going to see buyers just take control, and we're going to run the markets. We're going to control the markets today. You're going to see no sellers. It's going to be all buyers. We're going to take control today. We're going to show them how it's done today. I'm team bullish today, guys. Let's just see if we can start violating these structure highs up here now. Look, you start to violate these structure highs. You have the upper wick as well as the bottom wick on the 4 hour, and you break these structure highs, you're forming a new high. You're forming a bigger upper wick on the 4 hour as well. At that point, look, you start to form higher highs, higher lows, and when you form higher highs, higher lows, that's structure to the top side, right? That's the structure, that's an uptrend structure technically. So yeah, nothing should be telling you that, look, this is going to reject. Gold will sell off from here, because you could have seen a sell off from there, could have seen a sell off from there. Did it? It just came down to retest the lows, and from here now, if it starts breaking above there, you're forming a new high. So stick to what the markets give you guys. Just see what the markets are, just react to the markets rather than predicting to the markets. Until you actually see a massive confirmation for sells, there are no sells. You're just forming higher highs and higher lows. Price is moving in a wavy structure in a sustainable manner. Obviously now you got to understand, you need some more volatility to kick in. At that point, you're either going to see the sell-off play out, or you're going to see us forming higher highs, higher lows. But so far, you're forming higher highs, higher lows. You're respecting this area and turning this area into a support. So again, I'm not looking to predict, I'm just reacting to the markets, and so far I see gold going up. At the moment, I don't have anything which shows me that, okay, cool, gold is going to go down. I expect gold to go up. But when I do see some sort of selling momentum kick in, then I can say, okay, now this is happening. Now I can react to that situation. Until then, gold is a bullish beast so far. Gold is a bullish beast so far. Got another 2 minutes left for the new 5-minute open. If we can start breaking above the structure with that, and then the new 15-minute can open, potentially turning this structure highs into some sort of support. At that point, we're coming for the liquidity to the top side. That's when we can see that happening, and then hopefully if we can start turning 79.7 into some sort of support with the new NYSE approaching, the new 30-minute candle open, oh, we're going to see gold turn into a beast. Until then, this can just be a consolidation that we are within. From here you can see sells playing out as well as buyers playing out, but until you break out of this consolidation, you don't really know what's going to happen. But so far, look at the structure, we're forming higher highs, higher lows. We are quite bullish. So sells right now don't make sense in my opinion. They can play out, everything can play out. There's always that possibility factor, but we're playing based on probabilities, not possibilities, because there are millions and millions of scenarios and possibilities if you look at trading that way. But you're looking at trading in a way where you're playing the game of probabilities. Right now, do you have probability to the downside? No way. Have you violated the structure lows? No, you are within a consolidation, so the probability right now to the downside is not there. But if you start to see probability is to the downside, if you start to see structure lows being violated, areas being turned into resistance, at that point you can say, okay, now this was a possibility, and now this possibility has a high probability of working out. At that point you can execute with confidence. Until then, just have to wait and see what happens. Again, as I said, we need some sort of correction because we've had such a massive push to the top side. So even 50% correction down to 17.94 is expected. But because this is such a significant area, price is having a hard time breaking below this, right? So, but again, correction is expected. At least to 17.94 correction is really expected. Let's just see what happens though. This could be that push down to 17.94. From there, can see bullish momentum kick into the markets again. If we start turning this area now into some sort of resistance, again tapping the lows, the downside of the range, having broken out of the range, still within this consolidation. And this is the new 5-minute, which I did tell you guys about. With that, you're going to see a lot of volatility kick in. Look at that now. From here now, look, it's forming the upper wick, pretty much tapping into this resistance area. So now if we start breaking below this wick here, at that point you're expecting the correction down to 17.94. But until then, again, you're just going to see gold going up. It's just retesting the lows, and then from here you're going to see it engulfs everything to the left and starts pushing all the way to the top side, because the only thing gold is lacking right now is volatility, volume. That's what we need. As soon as we get volatility, which will kick in the next 4 minutes, the new 15-minute open, at that point you can see if the sells are going to play out or the bias. But again, my bias is really bullish. Not really expecting sells to play out. I'm expecting bias to play out. I'm expecting these structure highs to be violated for gold to come to the top side for liquidity, because again, it's the last day of the month. This is not regular day. This is the last day of the month. Gold needs to close somewhere, otherwise it's going to close really undecisive, is it not? So honestly, above now let's be realistic. 1813 is just not a target for us today. Let's be realistic. I mean, it could be, to be honest, if we start. What do you think, Garcia? Do you think we can hit 1813 today with the news coming, approaching at 3 o'clock as well? What do you reckon? If we start turning 1800 into some sort of support, we really do have clean traffic all the way to 1813 as well. What do you reckon?
No, I think 1802 is more realistic.
Yeah, but that's realistic before news. I'm talking about after our session is done and then the news event kicks in at 3 o'clock, basically when our session ends, and we start holding 1802 as some sort of support area. Because look at your monthly candle as well, man. We've had that massive pullback now. At this point, if the pullback is done, we're technically going to start seeing a lot of momentum kick into the top side, are we not? Just like, you know, when a candle starts to reject, the rejections become really aggressive. And if the pullback is done now, the push to the top side will not be a regular push. It's going to be a really aggressive push. What do you guys think in the YouTube live stream chat? What do you guys think is achievable today? Let us know. 1809 next 4 hour zone if this one breaks. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well, honestly. And I can see this breaking as well, and as soon as we break off, the volatility that's going to kick in, the momentum that's going to kick in, the amount of orders that are going to be executed above 1800, man, we're going to see an insane push. There we go, guys. Coming up now to the structure highs once again. Didn't see anything so far, still within the consolidation though, so you can potentially see again momentum to the downside kick in from here, which is the top side of the range. But if you start clearing the top side of the range pretty much, which is all the way up here, at that point you're not expecting any more pullbacks. At that point, as I said, price is coming up for the liquidity. Another 2 minutes left as well for the new 15-minute to open. Let's see if we can do that with the next 2 minutes. In the next 2 minutes, if we can start breaking and violating these structure highs, it'll be interesting to see, honestly. Because look at the 4 hours, it's done nothing so far, nothing whatsoever. It's only moved about 18 pips, so it is clearly waiting for some momentum to kick in, because we have been stuck within this consolidation. So when we do break out of this consolidation, at that point you're coming for the liquidity to the top side, and that you can expect in the next minute. If not in the next minute, if not the next 15-minute open, then obviously the NYSE session is approaching, which is a really volatile session as well. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Can expect, but really I don't know why I have a feeling today if we start breaking above this, like, we're gonna see some crazy momentum kick into the top side, and we have news kicking in as well. Everything aligns together. But if we do hold this level, at that point you can also see a really big sell-off playing off. Really big sell-off can play out from 17.97 for sure. This is that significant area within this range. You can start going all the way to the downside of the range, because you are literally at the top side of the range at the moment. You got to keep that in your mind as well. But look at the way we are holding the top side of the range at the moment, just forming high highs, high lows. You're not seeing a massive rejection either. That's the best thing about it. Let's see what happens. Just need some more volatility to kick in. This is the new 15-minute open now. It needs to push down a little bit first to form that bottom wick. Look at the way the 15-minute closed the previous one, engulfing everything to the left, closing above the resistance level, still within this consolidation, but again the confirmations out to the top side. Now it needs to create that bottom wick, start tapping 17.95 from their massive rejections to the top side, start violating the structure highs, and you guys are going to see a rocket ship of a candle all the way up to 1800. I think if you start breaking above these structure highs, it's going to be a rocket ship of a candle. You're going to see like a 20 pips 1 minute candle. You can really see that playing out. But let's see if this has enough volatility to do that. If it's a volatile candle. So far it's just rejecting. Again, it's literally the first minute of the new 15-minute open. It could still just be a little bit undecisive. Might want to come down to retest a key area, and then from there see that push to the top side. Look at the way the previous 15-minute closed as well. Okay, there we go. At this point, you're forming that bottom wick. Let's see if we see any sort of rejections from the support area, or we're coming down for that correction all the way down to 1794. If we start breaking below these structure lows all the way down to 1794, I can see that happening. Either we're going to start rejecting this and start pushing all the way to the top side, we start breaking below this all the way down to 1794. But there you go, that's the bottom wick done. Still haven't violated the lows of the previous 15-minute candle. At this point now, you want to see price starting to turn 1795 into support. You don't want to see price staying below this. At that point, if it holds as a resistance area, is going to give it more orders to start breaking its own lows once again. But if you start rejecting, it starts flipping now. You want to see an engulfing bullish candle at this point now. You want to see a bullish candle. You don't want to see any more bearish candles at this point now. You're going to see a bullish candle now, starting to break all the highs. There we go. This should be that rocket shape of a candle now. Start turning this area into a support, and this bullish candle should be a 10-20 pips candle to the top side. This bullish candle needs to start breaking everything to the left now. Everything to the left. This is the pullback done at this point now. Either this is going to be an undecisive candle, or it's going to be a massive bullish candle. But if it starts breaking to the downside again, as I said, we're coming down to 1794 and turning this area into resistance. Really simple. Look at that. See how this area here is holding as a resistance level now. So you start breaking below this now, you're coming all the way down to 1794 pretty much. Still within this consolidation now. That's the best thing about it. We've taken our trades, and imagine if we didn't, would have gone stuck within this consolidation. There we go now, starting to break to the downside at this point now. Again, is this going to now start coming down to 1794? 1794 coming up. From there, let's see if we can see some sort of rejections. Tapped into 1794.90. Could see it coming down a little bit more, but if we again did tap 1794 over here, so even rejections from here do make sense, but could see it coming down a little bit more. Needs to look at this massive candle, man. It needs to be corrected a little bit of it. A little bit of correction is required. So down to this area here can really make sense. Tap 1794 here. The lows have tapped 1794. 1794.90 has been tapped down here, but again can see it coming down to 1794.08 if we start to break the lows once again. But if we start seeing now, this 1794 technically has been tapped, so this can be that turning point now for us to go up. But again, you are within this consolidation. This is the lows of the range at this point now. So look, turning this area into a resistance, it starts breaking below this, coming downtown. So another, yeah, about 10 minutes left for the NYSE. Really want to see what happens here, honestly. But NYSE is probably like the last bit I'll wait till. If it doesn't do anything around NYSE, at that point I'm just going to call it a day because it will be too late into the session. But NYSE, I really want to see those buys playing out with NYSE. So like this can pretty much just be the correction now all the way down to pretty much 1794. If you can start respecting this area, start turning this into some sort of support. I do see it coming down though, 1794. And then obviously 1794.08, you guys see where I have this red line here. From here, if you can start turning this into some sort of support with NYSE, we can see a massive push to the top side. That's what I am expecting. If we can see those, obviously is a criteria, is a scenario, right? If it plays out, numerous possibilities, but that's the possibility I want to see playing out. So it needed to push down a little bit more and then a massive rejection to the top side. That would be beautiful. Because again, some correction is required. To understand, really big push to the top side. We've tapped a key area at this point now, so the correction is required. If this area here, the resistance level does not hold, which I want to see this area being held. If it doesn't hold, at that point we're coming down to the support area. It's pretty much going to take on my runner. But we have secured some profits up there on the runner, so it's only about 0.42 running, 0.42 lots. Like about 9 lots running on the whole position. There we go, tapping into that area now. Are we going to hold this area as support, or are we going to still drop? Let's see. This area technically can be that turning point area for the correction to be done now. So this can be the area. You can see a lot of buy orders being executed here. So if you see momentum kicking to the top side here now, we can potentially start pushing up. So it really depends now. If we have significant amount of orders here, otherwise it's coming down a little bit more. But until you violate the structure lows, it's just a correction. My runner might be getting stopped out at this point, guys. 79.4 is holding as a resistance now. Look at that. Let's see if you can see a close below this though. You would want to see a close below this. But at the moment forming lower lows and lower highs, and there we go. It's attempting to push down a little bit more. So you really do want to see this level here hold, and you want to see an engulfing bullish candle starting to form up now, starting to engulf everything to the left. At that point the correction is done, right? So now this candle, this bullish candle here, you want it to start breaking above all the structure. Like it needs to engulf everything to the left. It needs to start engulfing everything to the left. Otherwise this will become your retest and price is going to push down furthermore. You're going to push down like even more. So you really do want to see this candle here be some sort of engulfing bullish candle, starting to engulf everything to the left, like no bearish momentum whatsoever. Right now it's just rejecting. One of the factors are that there is no bottom wick at the moment, so potentially can see a push down and then from there a push back straight back up. But you guys can see this area, you are seeing some sort of rejections from this area. You are seeing momentum kick into the top side from this area, but you just got to see if are there really enough orders at this area from price to start pushing all the way back up from here, or are you going to potentially turn this into a resistance? So look at that. You just have to wait and see. So now if you see an engulfing bullish candle at this point now, starting to engulf at least like 2 to 3 bearish candles, at that point you can say okay cool, buyers are starting to take control again. Until then we don't see that. Just pull back and you start breaking below this, you're coming down even more. But this is one of the areas we are expecting this area to be that pullback area, right? So let's see if it holds. Let's see if it holds. You got another 7 minutes left as well for the NYSE, and there you go. You start breaking above these highs again now, you want to see price starting to engulf everything to the left. If I see like a lot of momentum kick into the top side from here, might look to scale in on a tiny position just from down here, honestly. But again, I want to see. But if my runner does get stopped out at that point, honestly, gonna call it a day. Because I want to see my runner do survive and then look to execute on another position. At that point, like, you know, I'm scaling in. If my runner is getting stopped out, I'm not really scaling in. I'm just taking a new trade. I want to scale in. It's being turned into resistance so far. But look at this minute candle, did not have a bottom wick, so potentially this candle here can be forming that bottom wick. The imbalance can be, you know, this can just be that correction to basically correct this imbalance. So pretty much can tap the lows of the range and then from there see a massive engulfing bullish candle. Again, still respecting 17.94, now forming higher highs and higher lows as well, as you guys can see. So if you start breaking above these highs at that point, you can expect price to push up. Let's just see what happens. Another minute left for the new 5 minute to open. That's when you're probably going to see an engulfing bullish candle being printed out if this area does hold as a support. So another minute left, and now you're going to start seeing an engulfing bullish candle. Really massive. Look at this beast. Look at this beast. Look at that gap. Do you guys see the gap? Look at how volatile this candle is now. Look at this beast. Now you're gonna start breaking to the top side of the range if you start clearing these highs here. Honestly, this was the last bit of an area where you saw momentum kick into the downside, right? At this point, you start breaking above this. This is it. This is your pullback down now. You're coming all the way to the top side of the range. At this point, you're breaking the top side of the range as well, because this is your new 4-hour open. It's gonna engulf everything to the left now. You start breaking above this, you guys are gonna see this. This is gonna be a rocket ship of a candle. It's gonna violate the structure highs. At that point, we're coming to the top side for the liquidity. And there we go. This is the last bit of an area where we saw sellers take control here. You start breaking this, start turning this into some sort of support. At that point, we're coming to the top side, violating the structure highs. But look at this, how this pullback area was respected to the T, guys. Can you guys see this, right? Can you see this? Just beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. And now you start turning this into some sort of support. You're coming all the way to the top side. The bottom wick is done on the 4-hour. Now you're coming all the way up now. This is a beast. This is about to skyrocket. This is going to be the rocket ship we have been waiting for. The correction is done now. Correction was expected. As I said, there was an imbalance in the market. It had to be corrected. Now the correction phase is done. the area which we did expect will, you know, be respected. It was respected. At this point now, you just want to see higher highs, higher lows being formed, starting to violate these structure highs. At that point, we're going all the way to the top side, right? But again, now the next part is we need to break to the top side. Until then, this can be that resistance, right? So I would want to see again a break for me to scale in. Could have scaled in down there as well for sure. But again, as I said, I'm just looking to take that one trade. So I'm going to have that safe sort of entry above, take that position above, because without the volatility that we're going to have above this due to the liquidity and the NYSE approaching, the 1-to-1s are going to get hit in a minute, like literally in a minute. So that's kind of what I'm looking to execute on. But look at this now being turned into some sort of support. Start breaking above this, you're coming all the way to the top side of the range, all the way to the top side of the range. Well, look at this area just holding as a pullback area. What beautiful, literally to the T as well. You guys can see literally to the T. Told you guys, if we hold this, we'll come in all the way to the top side, because look at your 4 hour now. At this point now, again, we understand now. We start breaking above 17.95. We start turning this area into some sort of support. Guess what? You're going all the way to the top side. Nothing is stopping you now. You have the bottom wick which was expected on the 4 hour, right? The correction is done now as well. So now at this point, the correction phase is done. This should be that move to the top side. At this point, we should form a new high. So how can we form a new high? In order to form a new high, we need to start breaking the structural highs, which is the 1 minute consolidation. So we start breaking above there. Oh man, we're coming for the liquidity. So everything's aligning perfectly so far. We just have 2 more minutes left for the NYSE open as well. So hopefully with the NYSE, we can start breaking out of this range to the top side. Man, if we can see that, at that point, I'm going to be a happy man, because this run is going to give me about 100 pips today. That's for sure. Why didn't you buy at 79.4 if you knew it was going bullish? Oh man, I've made more than 1%. I'm really not willing to take any more positions. But as I said, if you start breaking above and we have liquidity, at that point, I'll look to execute. But I've taken my buy setup, man. I've taken my trade. I've made a lot of profits today. So I really don't have a need of taking another position. But as I said, if I do see the liquidity being grabbed to the top side, if we can see the liquidity, at that point, I'll look to execute. You understand? Yeah. If this was, you know, I didn't take a trade, I would have executed on this with my eyes closed. That's how much confidence I had. But I've taken one trade. I don't need to take another trade, because as I said, I just stick to 1 to 2 trades a day. So again, millions and millions of possibilities. I want to take that one possibility which gives me the highest probability, which will be the move once we grab liquidity with the NYSE. Until then, this can again just start to reject and start forming new lower lows. So I really don't want to take a trade here. But if we grab liquidity in the market, that's the fuel which is needed for a rocket ship. So right now we don't have fuel. This is just a correction, retest to potentially form new higher highs. So now let's see when the volatility kicks in with the NYSE approaching in the next minute. Let's see if we can start breaking to the top side. At that point, we start grabbing liquidity, then I'll look to execute, because then the probability is going to be insane. Until then, this can start pushing down and can probably wake me up. And I've had a position. Look at that. I've got a position running all the way from down there. No need for me to scale in on another position from down here, because we haven't formed new highs just yet. So technically, this can just be a retest to form a new low. So I don't want to get caught in that. This is the NYSE open now. Can we see a rocket ship of a candle engulfing everything to the left? Yes, there we go. It's starting to break the structure highs. Can we do that? Can we break the structure highs? This is the NYSE open, guys. This is the NYSE open now. Can we see a rocket shape of a candle? Can we violate the structure highs to push up? Or are we going to see this area being turned into some sort of resistance to push down? But again, look, there is no bottom wick, so it needs to come down a little bit more. There is a tiny bit of a bottom wick. This candle might just be in. Now, guys, we're coming for the structure highs now. As soon as we violate these structure highs, we're coming for the liquidity to the top side. Look at this. Look at this candle. It is volatile, man. Is volatile. If we can start respecting these lows here, but it needs to come down just a little bit to form that bottom wick though. But if there is so much volatility in the market, if there's like extreme level of volatility, it might not even come down to form that bottom wick just yet. It might first go up, retest, break. After that might start to come down when the volatility dies down a little bit. But let's see what happens now. This is when you're expecting price to push down a little bit, come down to form that bottom wick, and then from there start to push up. But you start breaking below these structure lows. At that point, yeah, you're going to start forming lower lows and lower highs, and then the correction is going to be a little bit deeper, and you're going to see the sells playing out as well. So it's really simple. But look at this now. This is the bottom wick being formed at this point now. If you start to break structure lows at that point, you can really do see sales playing out as well. So again, I'm not looking to execute on a sell position. I want to see liquidity being grabbed, and then after that, look for a trade. But this can just be that massive rejection out to the downside. But again, 30-minute right now is forming that bottom wick pretty much. So until you start to break below the lows, which are all the way down, this is just a bottom wick being formed. That's how a sustainable price action works, right? So yeah, let's see what happens now. I'm gonna give it another couple minutes now, guys, just to see what happens. Either I'm gonna get stopped at a break even, or this is gonna fly to the top side and give me potentially 100 pips. Let's just see what happens. The bottom wick is done now. You want to see massive momentum to the top side kick in from this area here. You want to see an engulfing bullish candle starting to break these highs over here, and then at that point we're coming all the way to the top side, because we're at the 30-minute highs literally right here. At this point now, you have the bottom wick. What business does it have breaking its own highs once again? Well, the only thing I can see is that, okay, it had to come down to form a bottom wick, but now if it starts breaking the bottom wick once again, at that point you're potentially coming down to the structure lows, right? Start violating the structure lows, you can see a sell-off playing off. You can see sales playing out. So you just have to see where the momentum is. This is NYSE open. If the momentum is to the downside, you can see your sales playing out. If the momentum is to the top side, then guess what? The correction is done and you're going to see the structure highs being violated. But again, don't have the liquidity in the market, so I'm not looking to execute on any more positions until we have liquidity in the market. At that point, you can see extreme moves. Even now, gold can start dropping. You have a really big range to the downside. Just the lows of the consolidation are about 40-50 pips away, so you can definitely see an insane sell-off playing out now as well. But I'm just not interested. Again, as I said, millions and millions of possibilities is about probabilities. That's what I like. The probabilities, a game of probabilities for me. So let's see now, are we going to start holding this and start forming new highs, or are we going to start breaking below this? Let's just see. Again, volatility is on your side now. So if you start to break these lows, start forming lower lows, lower highs, at that point the correction will be a little bit deeper. But it didn't break out of the consolidation, unfortunately, just yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it another couple minutes now. Got another 2 minutes with the new 5-minute open. We can potentially see something, right? Look at that. You're potentially are forming your double bottom down here as well. If that does get respected with the new 5-minute open, this is your bottom wick down as well on the 30 minutes. At that point, potentially could be that time to break the structure highs. But until then, it's just forming lower lows and lower highs. So let's just see what happens. Can have a deeper bit of a pullback to the downside. Okay, look, now starting to break below. Again, retesting the lows. At this point, are you going to hold the lows, or are you going to start breaking them? If it starts breaking them, I can see a sell-off playing out, and I'm going to call it a day. But as long as we don't break below these lows, we're just forming a double bottom, forming a bottom wick on the 30-minute candle as well. And now you would want to see an engulfing bullish candle and start to engulf everything to the left, like really massive bullish candle, because this is an NYSE open as well. So now if the momentum kicks into the top side after having the bottom wick and after forming this double bottom on the minute structure, this is a really strong confirmation that gold is going to go all the way to the top side. It's going to potentially break 917.96 at that point, starting to violate its own highs on the 30-minute candle. And again, do you guys see why I didn't execute on a position there? Because I could have gotten stopped out. So now I can execute on a position for sure. But again, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to wait for the liquidity. So if it gives me the liquidity, then I'll execute. But I can most definitely see it coming up now. If it comes down now, I'm going to call it a day. It should not break its own lows now. It should not break these 30-minute lows now. It should just start breaking all highs now. This is it, when we should start breaking off the consolidation. And because of this gap, the gap had to be filled. You guys go understand. But now we should start breaking above 1796.44. Start breaking 30-minute highs. At that point, look, more probability to the top side. And at that point, very plain and simple, we're going to start breaking the top side of the structure highs, and then we're coming for the liquidity. So simple. And then from there, you're going to see an insane move playing out to the top side. But if it breaks its own lows now, which is about 1793, which I did tell you, double bottom can be formed here. So we are forming a double bottom here. Now, if we start breaking below this, I'm going to end the stream. But until then, I'm telling you, 100 pips are coming to the top side. I have so much confidence in this that we're going to see 100 pips to the top side today. That's why I'm actually holding this stream. There we go now. Look at that. 30-minute highs are about to be violated, guys. Look at that. 30-minute highs are about to be violated. These are the 30-minute highs violated at this point now. Next area is obviously the structure highs. And as soon as we start breaking above 797.29, we're violating the structure highs as well. Look at this rocket shape of a candle. As soon as we violate the structure highs, we're coming for the liquidity. From there, you're going to see massive momentum to the top side kick in, guys. So let's see now. Look, we have formed new highs at this point now on the 30-minute candle as well. So technically for the NYSE session, we're forming higher highs and higher lows rather than lower lows and lower highs. Keep that in your mind. We haven't violated the lows of the previous 30-minute candle. We just retested them. Let's see if we can violate the highs of the previous 30-minute candle. If we do that, guess what? We're forming a new high. It's so simple. But you would want to see a close above here though, above this resistance level that you are approaching. From here, you can see some momentum to the downside kick in, but it should just be a pullback. It should not break the structure lows, which are all the way down there. Structure lows are all the way down to 1793.90. So this should just be a pullback. Now you should start breaking to the top side again, but it should not engulf everything to the left. If it does, at that point, I'm going to call it a day, because then gold is just in a consolidation. From here, I want to see the structure highs being violated. That's what I'm looking to see. There we go now. This is a retest. At this point, it should start breaking the highs and start violating the highs of the previous 30-minute candle. The upper wick should be violated and we should form new highs. And there we go. This candle here, it should be that rocket ship of a candle. And as soon as we start breaking above this, I think we're going to start breaking off the consolidation as well. The top side of the range. But look at this, just playing out to the T, right? Amazing. Really hoping no one took Xauusd down here though. Because you just got wicked out so quickly. But there we go now. Some more volatility to kick in. Still struggling to break to the top side. Still needs to break. But again, forming higher highs and higher lows. At this point now, honestly guys, we should break. If we start breaking to the downside once again, as I said, I'm taking this position out. Because it should not break to the downside anymore. We should break to the top side. At that point, I'm again expecting 100 pips to the top side. Because it's the last day of the month. Understand that it's the last day of the month. Gold needs to be a volatile creature today. And if we start breaking to the top side, grabbing this liquidity, oh, with the news dropping at 3 o'clock, the push to the top side will be lovely. There we go. There we go. Look at this rocket ship now, starting to push all the way to the top side. As soon as we start clearing these highs, look to the left. Let's actually just mark the structure highs are right here. There we go. We're about to see a rocket ship of a candle if you start breaking above this, guys. Start breaking above the next pullback area, which we are approaching, is literally up here. So this is the next bit of a pullback area right here. So from there, we can see another pullback. Start clearing that. At that point, we're going to the top side of the consolidation. And this is just the next pullback area, which we tapped into. Now we start obviously clearing that. We're going to 1797. Stop breaking above 1797.29. Oh boy, gold is coming to the top side for liquidity. Until then, again, we are within this consolidation. From here, you can see a sell-off playing out as well. But start breaking the consolidation. I'm going to close my eyes and just hold this position. That's the only confirmation I want to see, honestly. It's the only confirmation I want to see. But just look at everything so far, playing out to the T. Again, everything is just like being respected. Everything is being respected. So this should just be giving you the extra bit of confirmation. Like for me, I have so much confirmation to hold this trade right now. Like nothing's telling me to, take on my runner. Everything's telling me to hold my runner because the probabilities to the top side. Again, as I said, react to the market. Don't predict the market. I'm just reacting to the market, and all the reactions I am expecting are happening, right? So that means the probabilities to the top side. Again, I'm not saying sales can't play out. I can just see on one massive bearish candle stopping me out right now. But again, that would there would be a reaction required to that as well. Right now, the reaction to that is not required, is it? Because I don't have any need to react. Paul, are you holding this, my brother? Garcia, I mean.
No, I secured already.
Secured already, yeah? Amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Man, I'm holding this. I'm holding this for 10 pips today. I mean, 100 pips. I'm holding this.
You get these 100 pips, dog.
Bro, it's coming. I'm telling you, 100 pips to the top side are coming today. Once we grab this liquidity to the top side and start turning this into support with the news kicking in, oh, we're going to see crazy moves to the top side. You guys got to understand, this is the last day of the month. I know I keep on repeating myself, but there are more things. Like, look how many more factors we have in this equation. So when it all aligns together, the beast of a move will come either to the top side or the downside. But again, my probability, possibilities and probabilities. Probability is to the top side in my opinion today. Let's just see though if it plays out, because again, sells can play out as well. Like the amount of times we are starting to reject this now, if we just hold this level, you're going to see a sell-off playing out. It's just natural, right? Price is failing to break above, even with NYSE. So I mean, literally there are so many sell orders say that price is just failing to break up to the top side. It's so simple, and then you can see sell-off playing out. It's really, really simple. But right now, again, you don't see that. You don't see those confirmations for sells. Just all buyers, buyers, and buyers. Look at these two massive engulfing bullish candles. What about Paul? Paul, are you holding this, or you secured everything, my bro? And
I secured everything early on, so now I'm just watching.
okay, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see now what happens. What do you guys think? Are we going to the top side or the downside? What do you guys think?
Hell yeah, the top side.
To the top side, to the moon. I'm expecting us to go straight to the moon. What do you guys think on the YouTube live stream? Are the sells gonna play out here or the buyers? I mean, the sells can most definitely play out as well. The amount of, like, look at the amount of rejections we have up here, just forming this double top here as well, man. Just rejecting. You can most definitely start to see sells play out. But again, if we stay above 17.95, I'm not expecting us to come down. 17.95, as long as we're above that, is just a correction to start pushing up. Another 3 minutes left as well for the new 15-minute to open. With that, hopefully we can see something. And I just want to see what the news does, man. Because usually our session closes at 3, right? It ends at 3, but the news is literally going to drop. So if I can survive this and then the news kicks in, oof, that might just be it, man. That might just be it. It's going to be exciting. Let's see. Testifiers. Yeah, it's gonna start being really volatile after 3 o'clock. Comes in 2 parts. It's a prepared statement. It's probably not gonna be straight away. I don't think it's gonna be, the volatility is not gonna kick in like literally, you know, straight away. But after 3 o'clock, it's gonna start being really, really volatile. Really, really volatile. The fluctuations are going to start increasing. After 3 o'clock, it's going to become really volatile. So that's when you can expect crazy moves to kick in. It's not going to be one of them news events. I think as soon as it drops, you know, you're going to see crazy volume kicking, but it's going to start becoming more volatile. That's what it's going to be. I'm thinking down as it needs to grab more liquidity, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but the liquidity is all the way to the top side as well. Keep that in your mind. Yeah, it has liquidity to the downside, but also to the top side as well. You can have liquidity both ways. And if it grabs liquidity to the top side, with that, that's going to give you the extra bit of fuel to just keep on pushing up. But obviously you would want to see a retest and area being turned into some sort of support. But again, yeah, it can most definitely come down to grab liquidity, but I don't expect it to come down now because it could have done it before. Like, look at your daily candle. It attempted to break down. It failed. So now if it starts breaking its own highs again, you're going all the way up to 1800, and you start breaking 1800, I'm not expecting it to come down. Before that, yeah, you can see a sell-off playing out, but once we break 1800 and grab all of this liquidity with after 3 o'clock, we're coming downtown. Look at this, another minute left for the new 15-minute open. We're about to violate the structure highs, guys, at this point now. We are about to violate the structure highs, I think. There we go. The structure highs are literally just up here. There we go, guys, starting to form higher highs and higher lows once again, tapping into the next pullback area. As soon as we start clearing 1797.29, at that point you are violating the structure highs that we have been forming on the minute time frame. So these are the structure highs about to be there we go, guys, about 40 pips. We're about to see about 40 pips, and this is it, guys. Structure, there we go. I have been waiting for this for the longest. There we go, guys. Told you guys. Look at this minute candle, 20 pips to the top side. Told you guys, been waiting for this. And now we're coming for the liquidity, and I'm gonna see 100 pips to the top side. Oh wow, let's go. Told you guys this is coming up. 60 pips up, boy. Let's go. 60 pips up. Told you guys this was coming. Told you guys this was
Took a little impulse entry there, dog.
Oh, look
Perfect
at you.
timing.
Look at you, Tiki. Oh, look at this. 70 pips. Oh, look at that. 70 pips up, guys. 70 pips up. Oof, my 80 pips up. My 100 pips TP is about to get hit, guys. My 100 pips TP is about to get hit. 80 pips up. Where's my phone? I want to make a little Insta video. I don't know where my phone's gone. Guys, 80 pips up at this point now. 80 pips up. Look at this beast. Wow. Told you guys. Look at this, 80 pips up, guys. Can you guys see this? I told you, liquidity to the top side. We're gonna see this. Did I not tell you guys? Oh man, I told you guys. Look at this beast, 80 pips up. Man, he's gonna go right past my 100 pips TP. What I'm gonna do is, I might just secure another half here and now just let it run, honestly, because this is gonna be insane. Look at this beast, man. My 100 pips are coming, bro. I told you this is gonna happen, guys. Did I not tell you? Look at this, 100 pips TP about to come, guys. 85 pips up, 86 pips up, 84 pips up. Man, 100 pips TP is coming. You guys are gonna see this. This is gonna go fly past my 100 pips TP. 100 pips TP right here. Look at that. I told you guys this is coming. Told you guys this is coming. My 100 pips TP is coming up. Guys, is about to fly past my 100 pips TP. Just watch what happens. Told you guys, as soon as we start grabbing liquidity, we're going to see a beast of a move. But I'm going to secure just some profits if it starts breaking the minute lows. But this should fly straight past my 100 pips TP. Look at this minute candle. Did I not tell you guys this is going to happen? Look at this beast of a minute candle. Literally 50 pips on a minute candle. There is no news either. So what's making this happen? Liquidity. Told you guys. Told you guys. It's just the things you need to know if you want to become a professional trader, and that gives you a lot of confidence when you've seen this happen again and again. 90 pips up, guys. 100 pips TP about to get hit. There we go. 90 pips up at this point. 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 Honestly, I'm looking to just secure 50% here and then just hold the rest all the way to the top side. If it starts breaking the lows here, you know what? I'm gonna secure some profits here, guys. And I'm looking to now hold this, man. Honestly, I'm thinking some crazy moves can happen, but I've secured some profits here. My 100 pips TP might just get hit now. Let's look at the next level because we have so much liquidity in the market now, man. Let's look at the daily candle. Man, potentially 1807 is coming, you know. I'm gonna put my TP at 1806. Yeah, I'm gonna hold this all the way to 1806 now. Why not? Yeah, I've been telling you, it's the last day of the month. Something crazy is bound to happen. I've been telling you guys. I'm about to see 100 pips now. Yeah, but I don't know where my phone is, guys. I've lost my phone. Oh, it must be in my jacket, actually. Give me a second, guys. I was literally set on my phone. It was literally, I was set on it. There we go, 100 pips. I think we saw 100 pips. What did I tell you guys? I'm going to see 100 pips to the top side today. I told you I'm going to see 100 pips to the top side today. Look at that, 95 pips up. Drop a like on the YouTube live stream, guys. 100 pips up. There we go. Look at this beast. 100 pips to the top side. So guys, we just saw 100. Oh my god, I was talking, my bad, guys. But yeah, as I said, look, at this point now, the daily target has been hit, which was about 100 pips, right? You gotta understand, now you have a lot of liquidity in the market. The monthly needs to close somewhere. I know I kept on saying the same thing, but it needs to, right? Look at that, you're rejecting the monthly lows now. You literally look at your wick fill on the monthly time frame is all the way up at 1878, guys. So now I can easily even see 100 pips to the top side again after 3 o'clock my time. I live in London, so another 10 minutes is going to start becoming really volatile. Look at this. I told you, if everything aligns together, we're going to see 100 pips to the top side. Look at this now. And now, honestly, like, I don't doubt it. We can probably even see, look at this bullish candle. I told you guys. So now we can even literally see the next target, which is 1813. It is really, really possible. Why not? Why not? And that's why I've secured some profits up here, and now the rest I'm just gonna hold it all the way to about 140 pips, and at that point I'm just gonna call it a day, guys. That's too many pips, man. It's not healthy for us to take, you know, a lot of pips. You wanna have a healthy balance of pips as well. 100 pips are really healthy, actually more than healthy. After that it starts to get too much. Get what I'm saying? Imagine if we did scale in on a position though. Again, I could have scaled in, but no, I couldn't be asked, honestly. It was too late into my session. That's the only thing. But I did want to see the runner playing out though. So that's it. Really happy now. Look at this. Told you guys. Gonna see something like this, right? Amazing session, guys. Just everything playing out to the T. Everything playing out to the T. That's why I told you, sells are risky. Don't take sells. Imagine if you guys had a sell down there and no stop losses. Sucks, right?
Stop loss.
Paul speaking soon. One more leg. That's it. After 3 o'clock, it's gonna start becoming so volatile, man. Another 8 minutes left.
Yo,
Took
did
the
anyone
pullback
in
sell.
YouTube secure
Hey,
100 pips?
my guy Cass, he took the sell and the buy. See, that's called being fluid. He said he took the sell and then he took the buy as well. That's called being fluid, guys. But again, you can't execute on sells and buys, but you gotta be obviously a fluid trader. A lot of people just hold one position, right? I'm out, exited at resistance with 432 pips profits. I'm probably done for the day. Done for the day, guys. Give DS some likes. Appreciate that, my bro. Look at that, 100 pips up, guys. You saw 100 pips. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. And yo, everything just played out to the T, guys. It doesn't get better than this, does it? And look at this, more than 100 pips. So yeah, let's just see how volatile it gets after like 3 o'clock. So the new poll watching, what do you think, bro? What do you think about this trading? I know you're watching at the moment, but what do you think? Do you like it? This style of trading? Or do you reckon the order blocks is more like suitable for you, the way you usually trade?
Sorry, I was on mute. It actually lines up, like the way price action lines up with, you know, the order blocks and the fair value gaps. So once, you know, I see confluence between the two styles, then it makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, did you take this, by the way, or did you just watch it? This position?
I'm watching it, just feeling
Nice.
bad that I didn't take it, but
Nice.
I'm in another trade on NAS 100, so
Oh, nice.
I'm okay watching that, but I'm like, I'm trying to compare which one would have made me more.
Yeah, honestly, we do want to move on to obviously the other pairs as well, but hopefully mid next year or something. I'm thinking about implementing another pair, but until then, just sticking to gold, man. Gold is
Yeah.
all you need, guys. Honestly, literally. I'm just gonna secure some more profits here. Honestly, close half, and then I'm just gonna let it run. The rest, I'm just gonna let it run, guys. At this point, I've secured some more profits up here. Can't be asked. Honestly, a little bit tired. Another 5 minutes left, and I do have a doctor's appointment today as well for a checkup. So kind of gotta start getting ready for that as well. So guys, thank you for joining. I'll be holding this trade. I'll let you guys know if my TP gets hit, but I've secured another half. Potentially after 3 o'clock you will see more volatility kick in. But guys, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Make sure you guys do drop a like on the YouTube live stream, and we'll be back tomorrow. So have a lovely day, guys, and see you tomorrow.